another episode of Hughes It or Lose It. We wanted to give you guys another update of what we had going on the past month or so. So first things first, we got to talk about Long Beach 2, which was the final round of the 25 Formula Drift season. Not my strongest event. Definitely struggled a little bit trying to figure this track out, but it was always cool to be in the streets of Long Beach. Like right on the beach is pretty awesome. The weather was pretty favorable, and definitely a super tricky track. Really, the biggest thing that I found, it was just very difficult to find where I needed to put my eyes because there really was kind of no constant radiuses. The walls were kind of obviously lining the track, but it was like this wall, you had to be 2 feet off the wall, and then this wall, you had to be like follow the line, and then the wall would come in. So not my best event. We went out in the 32, but even still, we ended up doing P9 overall in the season, so another top 10, which is pretty sick. So again, could have had a better event, but I feel like we finished off the season pretty strong, and we had a good time doing it. The car showed up and looked fantastic. We had the O'Reilly green on it with a really cool purple color on it again, similar to what we did in the year 2022. But yeah, so the car is relatively in one piece, and then we ended up yanking the motor out of it because Carlos is super on top of everything like always. We already have our 2026 motor already built, so of course we wanted to take this motor out, flip it over, pull the oil pan off of it, and see what we see, just to make sure that the engine's running properly. So, and what we saw, just like always with this royal purple oil, is some really freaking awesome looking main and rod bearings. Pretty shocking when we pulled that off. What do you think?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, what's interesting to see the progression like year to year and how the program changes and how we prepare for the next year. And it seems like even though we try our hardest to be as far ahead of it, it always seems to snowball into last minute stuff. So hopefully this year will be a little different. But going back to the bearings, it's incredible. I mean, the JZs, the one thing is we pull apart like a stock JZ that has 200,000 miles on it, and those bearings looked like brand new. And I remember when we used to run an oil cooler, we're like, hey, man, ours doesn't look like that. It must be because the race motor, blah, blah, this,
Yeah,
all
it
this
makes
other
1,000.
stuff.
All right, we're not mad at it. Whatever.
Right, but now that we eliminated the oil cooler, keep running the XPR 550 in there, you just see it, and now it looks exactly like those bearings. And it's like, yeah, the engine is designed to run perfect. We just had to help it in that without having an oil cooler. So can't stress it enough. The oil is great, and the temperatures are great too because the oil is so good. In Long Beach, actually, Dan, who runs a very similar setup to us as far as engine package is concerned, pulled off track, and I always like to look at cars and what temperature they're at. He came off track, and I think it was like 245 or 235 oil temp. Then Dylan was right behind him, so it was a good back-to-back thing. Dylan pulls up, and I walk over to Dylan's car, and he's at like 240 oil temp after that same run. So I was just like, Dan's running an oil cooler, he's doing that or whatever. I don't even know what oil he's on right now, but we're not running an oil cooler and we're at the same temperature, if not better, because Dylan had just pulled off track. So it's just a testament to good stuff. And if the oil's happy, the rest of the engine's going to be happy too. So we're stoked on that. And again, Long Beach wasn't our greatest round. Long Beach 2 wasn't our greatest round, but still we went out there. We had the best looking car as always. And we just did what we had to do, and we had a good time doing it. We finished top 10 in the season. So always pushing to be in the top 5 and even top 3. And I think we'll get there. We just need to keep being consistent.
Yeah, a little bit of luck involved. Hopefully we have some good luck next season, but the biggest thing is you need a pro drift car to go pro drifting. So the reliability of the car is there. We battled a couple little funky throttle body issues mid-season, but we got that stuff figured out and made some changes, went back to the cable throttle body. We've talked about that before, but this is an ever-evolving program. Competition drifting and the car and the program and everything is constantly evolving. So we had a great year. We had a fun time. We burned up a bunch of GT radial tires, and Royal Purple's keeping all of our cars running solid. So we finished out the year. Then we kind of pivot, and we talk about after the Formula Drift season, we kind of go into trade show season. So we went to Las Vegas. We knocked out the SEMA show. We had a great time, hung out with the Heatwave dudes a bunch. Obviously went by and hung out with the Royal Purple guys. We didn't have a car there this year, which was kind of felt a little bit weird, but at the same time, we were just kind of able to just do our thing and cruise around and talk to people and hang out. SEMA show is always a really good time. Yeah, what's next? So all we have next is the PRI show, and then we have Sonoma Winter Jam that we're going to take the 36 up to. That's a Northern California event that we really, really like to go to. Similar to Grid Life Laguna Seca, full course drifting, an absolutely legendary track with lots of elevation, and it's one of those things where like we have to go to this event so we could do full course drifting on another epic road course. So we're going to finish this year out doing some pretty cool stuff. So yeah, stay tuned. Just like always, this episode is brought to you by Royal Purple, and we wanted to highlight this product. This is the stuff that we run in our diesel trucks that tow our big trailers to and from these events. I got a brand new 2022 F450 Ford truck, and we have exclusively run this oil in it. It just rolled over 80,000 miles this year. We put over 25,000 miles of abuse on that thing. And we're rolling right at 26,000 pounds driving across the country with the fully loaded race trailer with the truck with all of our spares and everything. So again, a testimonial to the oil. This stuff is really freaking good. We've had zero issues with this truck whatsoever. And I think that this is just a really good product. And if you have a diesel truck, I would highly consider this stuff. We run this in the diesel wagon. We run it in both of our trucks. We actually have two trucks. We have an L5P Duramax and we have a 2022 F450. Both of these trucks run exclusively the Duralec 1540 in it, and this stuff's really great. So like I said, if you have a diesel, give this stuff a try. I promise you won't regret it. And if we were to go out and pull the oil pan off that F450, I'm sure those bearings would look the same in that.
Don't tempt me, dude.
As they do, the same as they do in that 2JZ. So yeah, check this stuff out. It's pretty sick.
If we get 1 like, I'll pull the pan off of that.